From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang. Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has issued Executive Order or EO82 reconstituting the Regional Development Councils or RDCs to accelerate socio-economic development in all regions. Under EO82, signed on January 28th, the President designated at least 12 government agencies and offices as additional members of RDCs in an effort to speed up the economic and social growth and development of the units. New RDC members are the regional heads of the Commission on Higher Education, Department of Education, Department of Energy, Bureau of Local Government Finance, Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development, Department of Information and Communications Technology, Department of Migrant Workers, Department of Transportation, Cooperative Development Authority, Office of Civil Defense, Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, and the Philippine Information Agency. EO82 directs the National Economic and Development Authority or NEDA and the Department of Budget and Management or DBM, both members of the RDCs, to jointly issue guidelines for the strengthening of regional investment programming and budgeting. The NEDA and the DBM are instructed to coordinate with relevant government agencies as they issue guidelines for the prioritization of key programs, projects, and activities under the regional development plans. All central offices of government agencies are hereby directed to prioritize key RDC-endorsed programs, projects, and activities in their investment programs and annual budgets and provide feedback through their regional offices to the RDCs on their actions. The Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao or BARM and Metro Manila, pursuant to Republic Acts 11054 and 7924, are not covered by EO82. The NEDA is mandated to issue the necessary guidelines for the implementation of EO82 within 60 working days from the effectivity of the order. The guidelines should include the framework for the preparation and approval of the Manual of Operations of RDCs, mechanism for the selection of a secretary or other officers for each RDC, including their duties and functions, and rules on vacancy and succession of RDC officials and officers. The funding requirements for the initial implementation of EO82 will be charged against the current and available appropriations of NEDA and such other sources as may be identified by the DBM. The budget needed for the continued implementation of the order will be included in the budget proposals of NEDA, subject to the usual budget preparation process.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. assures Filipino workers that his administration is taking steps to address the increase in wages. According to the President, there is a way to increase workers' salaries in the private sector, but there just needs to be resolved. Among these are legal matters as well as economic aspects while a study is still needed on the implications of the increase to a group of employers, particularly small businesses, rather small business groups or medium, small and medium enterprises or MSMEs. The chief executive said the issue still needs to be studied, wherein the study should be balanced. Meanwhile, the Akbayan party list has called on the president to immediately certify as urgent the proposed 200 peso legislated across the board daily wage hike for all private sector workers. The Akbayan's appeal came after the House of Representatives Committee on Labor approved a substitute bill proposing a 200 peso increase in the minimum wage.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other news, the Philippine National Police or PNP will duly recognize and honor Police Colonel Pergentino Malabed when his remains return to the country. This was assured by the PNP following the confirmation that the wife of Malabed is already in the United States to identify the body of his husband, rather her husband. According to Police Regional Office 3 Director and concurrent PNP spokesperson, Police Brigadier General Jean Fajardo, besides the wife of Malabed, his brother is also present. Fajardo said Malabed's brother went directly to the police attaché to process the required documents to return the remains of the fallen police to the Philippines. To recall, Malabed was one of the passengers who died on board the American Airlines flight that collided with a Black Hawk helicopter near the Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport in Virginia last week. Malabed was in the U.S. for an official mission as head of the PNP Supply Management Division when he was involved with the tragic accident.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, is pleased with the results of the Social Weather Stations, or SWS's fourth quarter of 2024 survey, showing 59% of adult Filipinos are satisfied with the general performance of the administration of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. The survey, conducted from the 12th to the 18th of December, found that 59% of adult Filipinos were satisfied with the administration's performance, 23% were dissatisfied, and 17% were undecided. The administration retained a net satisfaction rating of plus 36, classified as good. In a news release on Sunday, Assistant Secretary Irene Dumlao of the DSWD Disaster Response Management Group attributed the favorable approval rating to the whole-of-nation approach of the Marcos administration. For disaster preparedness and response, Dumlao noted that initiatives like the Buong Bansa Handa or BBH program have enabled the DSWD to promptly meet the needs of disaster-stricken families. The BBH employs two parallel supply chain mechanisms for disaster preparedness and response. The first one features a national and local government-driven supply chain, while the second supply chain forges partnerships with established large and small groceries, supermarkets, manufacturers, and distributors to leverage their technical expertise and resources to create a private sector-driven supply chain. Mandated to provide social protection to the poor, vulnerable, and disadvantaged sector and invest in human capital development, Dumlao said, the DSWD continues to enhance the existing programs and services of the agency. In collaboration with various government and private sector organizations, the Walang Gutom or Zero Hunger program continues to ensure food security and bring down the incidence of involuntary hunger experienced by Filipinos from low-income households. In December 2024, the agency launched the Walang Gutom Kitchen, which aims to address involuntary hunger and reduce food wastage by turning donated surplus food from hotels, restaurants, and organizations into hot meals for individuals experiencing hunger. As the primary agency mandated to provide social protection services to the poor, vulnerable, and marginalized sector, the DSWD recognizes the need for transparency and accountability to the Filipino people. Under the leadership of Secretary Rex Gatchalian, the agency produces 4 regular live stream programs, namely The Kwento ng Pag-asa at Pagbabago, 4-Piece Fast Break, DSWD Thursday Media Forum, and DSWD Weekend Report Live. All programs give timely news and updates regarding programs and services, feature success stories, and answer live comments from stakeholders and beneficiaries.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other news, the Philippines Bureau of Immigration or BI said alleged foreign spies recently arrested by authorities have seemingly embedded themselves in society. Investigation into the records of the alleged spies showed they have been in the Philippines for decades. In a news release Sunday, BI Commissioner Joel Anthony Viado said, the alleged spies have been holding legal statuses and have lived in the country for a long time before they were found to be doing suspicious activities by the National Bureau of Investigation or NBI and the Armed Forces of the Philippines or AFP. Viado said some of those arrested had working visas linked to companies in San Juan and Manila, while others were married to Filipino nationals. He urged citizens to report suspicious activities of foreign nationals that might affect national security. The BI Commissioner said they are closely working with the Department of Justice, or DOJ, NBI, and the AFP to collate information about the suspects. Viado said the DOJ will also file cases against the suspects' cohorts to ensure that they suffer the maximum penalties for their crimes.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Philippines National Capital Region Police Office, or NCRPO, on Sunday said crimes in Metro Manila dropped by 19.61% in the first month of 2025. Acting Chief Brigadier General Anthony Abirin said the NCRPO tallied 451 crimes against persons and properties in January, fewer by 110 than in the same month last year. He attributed the achievement to the aggressive and relentless police operations against criminals, especially in the fight against illegal drugs, loose firearms, illegal gambling, and wanted persons. Classified as focus crimes are murder, homicide, physical injury, rape, theft, robbery, vehicle theft, and motorcycle theft. Rape cases dropped by 46.49%, physical injuries by 37.14%, homicide by 28.57%, murder by 17.65%, and theft by 23.05%. Aberin noted the high efficiency in addressing crimes with 92.46% recorded for clearance efficiency and 72.73% for solution efficiency. NCRPO is composed of Manila Police District, Quezon City Police District, Northern Police District, Southern Police District, and Eastern Police District. Meanwhile, Criminal Investigation and Detection Group or CID Chief Brigadier General Nicolas Torre III over the weekend said 1,177 wanted persons and suspects were arrested in January. He said anti-crime operations also netted 139 firearms, 6 explosives, 1,311 rounds of assorted ammunition, and other pieces of evidence worth 97.2 million pesos, resulting in 149 filed criminal complaints.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, Pope Francis has declared St. Gregory the Great Parish Church in Mahayhay, Laguna Province a minor basilica, the first diocese church in San Pablo that received the said recognition. According to a report by Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines or CBCP News, in a decree from the Vatican dated January 25th, the petition of the diocese was approved last December 2024. San Pablo Bishop Marcelino Antonio Maralit Jr. said, "This is a wonderful blessing, especially this year as they are celebrating the Jubilee Year of Hope." The Mahayhay Church, built in 1576, was recognized for its rich history and architectural design. This served as a shelter and refuge to Franciscan missionaries and also served as the headquarters of American troops during the Filipino-American War. According to the Vatican, a minor basilica should be the center of liturgical and pastoral life and has special communication with the Pope and Catholic Church in Rome. Meanwhile, National Museum of the Philippines also recognized Mahayhay Church as a national historical treasure because of its rich history and unique architecture.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, Radyo Pilipinas World Service of the Presidential Broadcast Service is heard over the following shortwave frequencies: 9.475 MHz, 15.640 MHz, and 17.820 MHz. You can also visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel at Radyo Pilipinas World Service. You will be able to hear and view our Filipino and English programs, including news updates here in the Philippines. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our posts as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.